Hi everybody, so I thought I'd give this crafting concrete paste a go from Hobbycraft. My intention is to do the depot area with it, so as you can see I've already cleared some of it out. These marks here are from where I got the damp in it from quite a while ago. Although it looks wet, it's not actually wet anymore. I think that's just like a staining if you like, but I'm going to cover that over anyway with this stuff. So we'll see how it goes. First impressions of it seems okay. I've not put any down anywhere yet. Get the lid off on one hand. To be quite honest, it looks like wallpaper. To be quite honest, it looks like decorator's filler. It smells like decorator's filler. I dare say it probably is just filler with a bit of paint mixed in it. It actually just smells pretty much the same as your run-of-the-mill, that's something I've got for doing in the house. It smells the same. It's maybe a little bit more watery, but we can live with that. So we'll get some put on and we'll see how it goes. I might try it on somewhere discreet first, maybe not on the layout, just to make sure it's what I'm after before I commit to it. But water-based relief paste gives a characteristic concrete look for absorbent and non-absorbent surfaces. So yeah, give it a try I suppose. So just spread some of it onto the spare plastic card. Actually it's still wet, so that's probably why it's a bit shiny. I can't really get any better light unfortunately, because it's just the light in the garage. It doesn't look too bad. I think I might be able to get it smoother if it's a little bit thicker applied. So maybe it might go on a bit better in the depot, but it doesn't look too bad. I think maybe a little bit of sanding and probably do it once it's dry as well, just to smooth it off, because obviously them dips and gouges are going to be massive in N-gauge, even though it's only half a mil. It's still 6 inches deep sort of thing. But we'll see. I'll see what it looks like when it's on. But yeah, here we go. See what happens. Hope it goes on alright. So that's the first coat done. I suppose you can call it a coat. Just bring the light over a bit more, might be able to see a bit better. It does look quite light. I don't know, that's just I'm used to seeing the colour of the ballast. The ballast's quite dark. I did weather the ballast down quite a bit. So if I do a bit more of an aerial, you can see a bit more of a comparison. It's not the neatest at the moment. Not sure how happy I am with that. I think it looks better than the ballast did. From a bit more of a standoff, it looks okay. It definitely needs weathering down, that's for sure. So once it's all dried off and finished, I probably will give it a bit of a weather anyway. A couple of oil spills and stuff, because it's going to be in a depot, so it's not going to be clean unless it's just completely fresh. I've tried to get the edges as good as I can, But what I think I might do, once this layer's set, I might get some masking tape and just mask off the edges and try and get a straighter edge. But it's not too bad. I can always fill it in with a bit of ballast afterwards and some masking tape on the concrete. So yeah, we'll leave that to dry. I'm going to have to stick the heater on in the garage because it's Baltic in here at the moment. Considering it's like nearly the middle of April, it's pretty cold. So stick the heater on. Hopefully get this dried. Then I think it might need a sand down, to be honest. We'll see how it dries. I don't know how I can get a good enough. It's not horrendous. Like I say, I've managed to get it smoothed out quite a bit. So we'll see. We'll see what it dries like. I can always put another layer on, then maybe sand that layer down afterwards. It's a start anyway, and it just about fits. So I'm not going to put this down obviously, but it's still wet. The depot's about there, so it's about in line with that red car at the back, and the fuel point. So yeah, I've got about just enough. I can maybe do going forward to that light a little bit more, but we'll see. I can always patch that up afterwards. So providing this all goes alright, I might end up doing down here. I don't know how I feel about it, because I quite like it at the moment, but it could do with being hard sanding, especially around this hut, the shed, and maybe like this part here. Not so sure about the sidings on the back there, but we'll see. Well, we'll see how it goes down the depot area first, in the smaller area. But from a distance, it doesn't look too bad. So we'll see how it dries anyway. So I'll come back probably tomorrow and see how it's getting on. So that's the first layer and a slight second layer down. It's all dried now. I've had the heat on in the garage just to keep it a bit warmer in here. It's been a bit warmer anyway, but it's definitely dried out okay. It's not too bad. It's gone a bit rough on the edges really. I can probably tidy that up, I think, by maybe some masking tape along here, and then maybe balsing up to the masking tape. I think that's probably going to be the easiest way of rectifying it. It does need a bit of a sand down. It is a bit rough in places. I've just actually tried to do it with some 150 grit, and it's not really touching it. It is taking it off, but it's slow, so I think I'm going to go up a grade, up a few at least, and see where I get with it. And then I'm going to have to try and clean up the rails as well. But it doesn't look too dreadful. If I put the depot building back on, sort of looks alright, I think. Then with if I put the building back where it needs to be, that'd be more helpful. And with the fuel point there, so it's not too bad. Could maybe do with bringing it forward a little bit more, but we'll see. It doesn't really make an awful lot of difference really, as long as it's on and it's there. So yeah, we'll keep tidying it up and we'll see how it goes. It's a bit more sanding, I think. So that's this line on this side effectively sanded and cleared out. Again, it still doesn't look perfect, but as you can see, that logo is going on and off pretty well. It's not 100%, but to be honest, it wasn't the most reliable bit of track that I ever had before anyway. That's running quite well. Now, if I slow it down, it does become a bit of a different story. That's on speed step 10 of my power cab, and it's hit and miss. So some places it's okay, other places not. I think I just need to work on cleaning the track head a bit, to be quite honest. Again, it's not. I don't know if I can get that close enough to sort of really show you. It's not perfect. I've run a screwdriver blade in between it all, but it's not perfect. So we'll persevere, see how we get on. I think if I can get it in a little bit better than that, then I'll be quite happy with it, really. It's actually quite hard to sand down. I'd go so far as to say it's not very sandable at all. So if I'd known that beforehand, probably wouldn't have used it. I guess that's probably more poo of me for lack of planning. But for example, here's some. I mean, this is only cheap sandpaper. Like that's the 80 grit sandpaper that I ended up using, and it's just completely torn it. So yeah, it is quite tough stuff. I think it is a bit. It does seem to dry a bit tougher than your normal decorators filler would do. But there you are. Live and learn. So I'll crack on and see what happens. So just for a bit of clarity, all I'm doing here to clear the rails is just getting the screwdriver. And it's just an old like electrician's screwdriver. I wouldn't use it for its intended purpose because I don't trust these ones. But just getting in the rails on the side and just scraping it along, trying to keep it on the rail. I've been doing it two-handed just to get a bit more of a grip on it. But that's cleaning the inside of the rail up quite nicely. It is a bit sticky in places, not sticky, but it's sticking in a bit in places. I think that's where I've got a bit thicker. You can hear it catching, but it's getting plenty off. And it's taking a little bit of a top layer off as well in places. That you can see there. There's some. So you can see it. It's like a fresh score line. I don't mind taking a bit off. At the end of the day, it's going to stop locals bottoming out or anything. So yeah, that's how I'm doing that anyway. That now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this very well. I need to hoover it all up. But that side rail head's quite clear. Obviously this is zoomed up quite close and there's a lot of muck still. But the side of that rail is quite clear most of the way along. There's like a bit of a mess in places, but I can live with that. So that's probably about that. Now it's just a case of cleaning up bits like this here. I might have to get small. That's it, there, it's just lifted straight off. That's one bit I needed to do, but that's good. That's out the way. There's a couple of bits I need to tidy up, like this bit here. And then again, this bit there. Some needed. To be honest, the screwdriver actually cleans it up better than the sandpaper does. I think a bit of a sharp edge. It scrapes off quite easy. I think it's tougher than the sandpaper, but obviously it's not harder than the screwdriver. So the screwdriver, I think it might be my way forward. Just take it easy with it and try and flatten off some of these lines I was about earlier. So yeah, I'll come back when I've got that done. So, as you can see, I've finally used some masking tape. I've got a bit of a neater edge. Again, it's not perfect, but I think given that I've got a ballast underneath, that's pretty much as good as it's going to get. That piece of ballast is going to lift up and ruin my day. There we go. That's annoying. Oh well, right. That was going to be restuck again. Never mind. It's for another day. That's don't know why that's gone like that. I'm guessing it's got a bit damp. Great. Oh well, I'll hoover that up before I pack up. So this bit here is still rock hard. It's just this little patch here. Never mind. I can soon sort that out. So yeah, straighten the edges off a little bit. And I'll neaten it up with some more ballast along here, I think, just to take the edge off it. Try to fill this bit in there. Just trying this time to clean these edges off while it's still wet. Because it does actually, if you've got a wet finger, you can just wet it all off and run your finger along it quite easily. So we'll see how that dries anyway. We'll have to give it another day or two. It's quite warm in the garage now, so, well, I say quite warm. It's not as warm as been in the house, but at least it's warmer than it has been. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So that's the the concrete area pretty much finished really. It's alright. I've managed to sand it down a bit better. I ended up using some of, let me find it, this type of sandpaper. It was 80 grit. It's quite stony is the best way to describe it really. The other stuff I was trying to use, it's like more like a black type. That was just, it just felt a bit. That other stuff was far stronger. It's a lot thicker, a lot stronger. I didn't use that big sheet. I tore a bit off it, like. But that made a hell of a difference, and it's actually sanded it down. It's quite smooth now. It's relatively flat. The only bits that aren't perfect is in between the tracks, but I can sort of live with that. It looks from a distance, and from probably where I'll be photographing it, fine. Would I use it again? Probably not. Yes, it works. It's been a bit of a chew on. It looks okay. I'm quite happy with how it looks, and I still want to weather it. Obviously, I still need to finish off this ballast bit here. Get some ballast down on that bit. It's hard to say. It's done the job, I suppose. If I was modelling in double O, I'd probably be more inclined to try it again, just because it'd be a lot easier to clean the rails out. That's half the battle I've had, cleaning the rails out. For somewhere where there's no rails, 100% go for it. It's fine, especially if you can get a palm sander on it. For O gauge, I've never done O gauge. I've never done double O either, but I would think for O gauge probably be perfect. And it'd probably look quite realistic as well, the texture without any sanding. So yeah, I'll put some buildings back on, and we'll see what it looks like with everything back in place. Right, so there we go, that's everything back in. Need to put some fencing back along it again. So once I get that in, that's going to tidy that up a little bit. I probably also just need to tidy up some of these edges, like here, to where I've sanded it. It's just gone a bit dusty. I'll just do that with some ballast, some fresh ballast once I redo this ballast area. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It's turned out quite well. It's turned out better than I expected, actually. I'm quite glad I did it. The trains run relatively okay on it. That's just creeping along speed step 10, that's not too bad. I've had to put a bit of graphite on the rails to try and get the conductivity back, but it wasn't the cleanest part of my track anyway. What I might try and do actually is try it with one of these sound locals, because that'll really highlight any issues. So bear with me. So that's on speed step 10 at the moment, which is quite slow for this loco. It will go slower, but for the purposes of this video, that's about right really. The track's not perfect, not gonna lie, but I think with a bit of fettling it'll soon sort itself out. If I keep on top of the cleaning, maybe give it another scrape over with a screwdriver, I think it'll probably be okay. So I'll drop this down to speed 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. A bit of a stutter there. So that's on speed step 3 at the moment. That's just stalled there. Let's give it a bit of a nudge. Yeah, so that is moving. If you can just about see that. If I drop it to speed step 1, that's just crawling in. So it's working. That's the important thing. It's not often I drive the locos that slow on the depot. Not on speed step 1 anyway. That's just another stall there. Probably just a little. It's not much. I think a bit of running on it. It'll soon. And to be honest, this part under the shed is probably a bit worse. I've not spent as much time doing that bit. I think a little bit more clean now, so it'll soon be right. So yeah, get that weathered up, and see how it goes. I'll pop some photos over on my Instagram. If you aren't already following us, it's Finnbrough N on Instagram. It's on Facebook as well. So go and give us a follow, give us a like, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you next time.